Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at a handful of tips and tricks that may help you out on the seas. Now these tips go from beginner to more advanced. They are not in any specific order, but there is some beginner ones and there are some advanced tips and tricks in here that will hopefully help you guys out on the seas. And some of you might already know some of these tips and tricks, but stick around, sit tight, you might learn something from this video. If this video is helpful to you, please consider dropping a like and subscribing. We're 2 subs away from 100 subs. It would be much appreciated if you guys could go ahead and do that. I do live streams every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. So make sure to go check out my Twitch. I'll leave a link to that in the description. And let's not waste any time and hop straight into this video. So the first thing we're going to talk about is you always want to make sure you stock up before you go on your voyage. You now have the luxury to buy crates from the merchant, wood crates, cannonball crates, storage crates, fruit crates from the merchant. You want to make sure that you do that. When you buy a storage crate, you now have the luxury to hold a button to grab supplies rather than taking them manually. This is a lot more helpful, and it'll help you a lot more in the long run because you don't have to sit there for half an hour getting supplies. You can cut that time in half. So make sure to stock up before you go on your voyage. So the next thing we're going to talk about is emissaries. Emissaries are a flag that will represent the trading company you are representing, and as you get more loot for this trading company, you will level it up. This will give you 1.5 times more when grade 5 of more value in gold and reputation rather than selling just one piece of loot. Leveling up these emissaries will give you special cosmetics from the ledger. If you level up your emissary ledger with selling things, you can get special cosmetics the next month. So we have the Order Souls emissary, Merchant Alliance emissary, Reaper's Bones emissary, Athena emissary, and the Gold Hoarders emissary. These are all 5 of the emissaries that you can do as of right now. Athena is only for Pirate Legends. This next tip is going to be to keep your sails angled with the wind. So once you're ready to set sail on your voyage, you're going to want to keep your sail with the wind as much as you can because it'll get you to your destination the fastest. On a sloop is the slowest, the brig is the fastest with side wind, and the galleon is the same as the brig, if not a little bit slower with wind. Because it's a bigger ship, bigger body. This game kind of has physics, kind of doesn't. The next thing we're going to talk about is raising your sails rather than lowering your anchor when you reach your destination in an island or wherever you're trying to go. The reason for raising your sails is so that if a ship pulls up on you while you're on the island, you have some chance of escaping. For example, when you see a ship pull up, you start to come to your boat, you run from the island, you run all the way to your ship, you come to raise your anchor, and your sail is lowered. By that time, the ship is pinning you with cannonballs, you're pinned down, you can't do anything, your mast is probably down at this point, so you can't go anywhere. They probably will have boarded you, they will probably have shot you off the anchor, and at this point you are sunk. So make sure to keep that anchor up and those sails up to make a quick escape from a ship that you do not know that is trying to sink you. The next tip we're going to talk about is sword dashing, or sword lunging if you want to call it. Whatever you want to call it, you can use this mechanic to get back to your ship faster, to sword dash enemies taking down over half of their health, to get back to your ship if an enemy ship comes. Sword dashing is so useful at this point in the game that I think it's critical that a lot of people know it and know how to do it right instead of doing it the wrong way. So when you sword dash, right before you hear the shing, you're going to want to jump. This will make you go farther, this will propel you further, and this will make sure that you do your sword dash correctly. Now, if you do not hit anything, if you do not hit a player or an enemy, you will be stunned or you will stand there for about 3 to 4 seconds and be completely vulnerable to getting hit or blundered, so make sure to watch out for that. But sword dashing is very important, it's very needed to know. So I forgot to mention this just a second ago, but you're going to want to sword block before you do your lunge because it will help. You're going to make sure that you want to hold to block your sword and then continue to do the lunge. I forgot to mention that. This next one is a good tactic if you're fighting an enemy and you miss your sword dash. You can grab onto anything or interact with a cannon, a harpoon, a wheel, a mast, anything, and it'll stop your stun from happening. This is very helpful when you're fighting someone and you miss your sword dash, because this can allow you to die if you fail this. So make sure to grab onto something if you miss it, and you will have more of a fighting chance to win in that battle. This next tip we're going to talk about is regeneration. Regeneration happens when you get health more than full health. You can indicate if you have regeneration if you see a green circle around the green skull in your health bar. This regenerates about every 10 seconds when you do not take damage, and all meat will give you regeneration. Most meat will take your health up to full. I think chicken doesn't, but most meat will give you full health and extra over health regen, which can help a lot in battle. I like to call it battle meats. For this tip, it's pretty obvious, but you want to turn off all your lanterns. You can be seen halfway across the map if you have your lanterns on at night. Even turn off the bottom deck lanterns, because that will give you less of a chance to be seen, and you can stay more hidden in the environment to attack somebody or avoid somebody altogether. So make sure to keep your lanterns off, because you are a glowing beam. This next tip is really helpful to help you win in battle. This is where to store your kegs. Please listen to me and never store kegs in the bottom of your ship. Never, ever, ever. You are sunk instantly if you do that. Taking them to your crow's nest is not good either, because, for example, if I come along, I see you have kegs in your crow's nest and you're running away. I don't condone running away, but you are running away. I shoot the keg, it blows up, your mast is down, I board, and you're dead. So, the best way to store these kegs is to keep them on the very tip of your ship. Rather than have your mast go down, it will put a couple holes in your ship, maybe bounce you back a tiny little bit, but if you're on a good sailing streak, it won't do anything to you. Just put a couple holes in you and a little bit of fire on the tip of your ship, which is a lot better than having your mast go down. You can have you or one of your buddies can repair this while you keep going on your adventures or to fight somebody. So make sure to keep it on the tip of your ship. It'll just be better and it'll help you out a lot in the long run. This next tip is for if someone lights a keg on your ship and runs away. You may have enough time to go ahead and stop the keg, so if you do before it blows up, go ahead and stop the keg from igniting, stop it from igniting and stop it from exploding, and preferably throw it off the back of your ship, because if you throw it off the side when you're moving, you might run into it, and that might cause you to sink or the enemy to get what he wanted. So make sure to stop the keg, throw it overboard, and then deal with the enemy. And make sure he doesn't shoot in your hands, or else that might be the end for you. This next tip is to help you escape sloop boarding situations. Say that you are in a hairy situation, you're getting swords running after you and you need to get out of there. Go ahead and go down to the bottom deck next to the hatches and try and find the interact with the ladder. Now this is a glitch in the game they still haven't patched, it still works, so make sure that you use that to your full capability as much as you can, and it might get you out of a couple of situations. The next one you can use is jumping from the back of the sloop to the ladder on the board, but this is very hard, so I would stick to the other method because you can fall off their ship. But if it's done successfully, it'll make it seem like you fell in the water, so they'll think you're off your boat when you're really just boarding them again, and you can get back on board, kill them, sink them, whatever you gotta do. but this is an easy way to get out of a hairy sloop situation. This next tip is for you double gunners out there. The double gunners who do not want to go through the action of sprinting and doing whatever to get your gun to quick swap, this is an easier way to quick swap. It's pretty easy. It's a good way to quick swap though. All you need to do is leave one of your weapons unloaded. And when you shoot, switch to the other weapon real fast, and you can keep shooting like that. You just switch, you just shoot, switch, shoot, switch, shoot, switch. This can help. This next tip is a boarding strat for boarding other ships. When you try to board somebody, you want to try and go on the opposite side of where your mermaid is. This can help you board. It cannot in some situations. Most of the time, people are watching ladders. It's really just a 50-50% chance. I have no clue how the person that's following you or that you're chasing is going to be like when you board them, but board the opposite mermaid. If your mermaid's on the left side, board the right side. If your mermaid's on the right side, board on the left side. It's just a better way to try and board and kill your opponents. The next tip we're going to talk about is fishing. Fishing is pretty straightforward in this game, but some people can do it incorrectly. When you get your fish on the line and it starts taking off away from you, it's going to eventually take a turn to the left or to the right. This is going to determine where you put your fishing rod. You can get a trophy fish or a normal fish. Trophy fish are harder to catch. Normal fish are easier to catch. Bigger fish, longer it takes, basic stuff. But whenever you get this fish on the line, you're going to want to take your fishing rod the opposite way of where the fish is going. If it's going left, pull your rod as hard to the right as you can. If it's going right, pull your rod as hard to the left as you can. If it's going straight away, pull your rod up. Now you'll know if you're doing this wrong if your reel, you'll know if your fishing line and fishing reel starts vibrating very rapidly. You'll know that you're doing this wrong. But the fish will get tired every once in a while, and you'll get to reel it in. And the more it gets tired, the more you'll get to reel it in. And eventually, you'll be able to catch your fish. And this fish is very, very good to cook and get extra regen health and battle meats from. You can also sell it to the Hunter's Call, too, for some golden reputation, but I would save it for battle meats, unless it's a rare fish. This next tip is I'm gonna teach you how to cook. The Sea of Thieves is pretty straightforward again, just like fishing. As soon as you get your fish, you're just gonna take it downstairs, plop it onto the frying pan, let it cook. Trophies will take about 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. Normal fish can take a minute, 45 seconds, somewhere in between there. Just watch your fish. In this case, I had a trophy, so it took me a couple minutes to get it cooked up. It took a minute, but you will know when it starts to get done when it turns white. When it turns white, it's about 3/4 of the way done. You gotta give it another couple seconds. And when the fish turns brown on the top and the eyes turn white, the fish is done cooking. Now, again, this is very, very good for battle meat, so I'd save this for battle. And I would not eat it. Maybe your teammates will eat it to troll you, and that's very sad. So I would save this meat. This meat can be very helpful in the long run for regen health. The next tip we're going to talk about is X-canceling. X-canceling can help get you out of some pretty risky situations, such as putting fire out on your boat and getting water out of your ship. They said that they patched this, but I don't think that they did. All you need to do is, whenever you go to bucket, about 1 second, not even a second, as soon as you click your left mouse button, you're going to want to press X, double tap X. So you're going to want to click it, double tap X, and your bucket will be full or your bucket will be empty. It's the fastest way, and it works. Doing this works with guns too, and pretty much everything. You can X cancel, B cancel, whatever. It works, but bucketing and shooting is the best that it works with. This next tip is sailing against the wind. When you're sailing against the wind, you do not want to angle your sail to the side. Keeping it angled straight against the wind is just the best. We call it dummy sailing. It's the best and will get you to your destination the fastest. This next tip is going to help you stay afloat. There's a grate on every ship that you can see through the top through. The galleon, the brig, the sloop. It's always going to be in the middle of the ship. Water can be thrown through that grate and it can save you a bunch of time and also keep you afloat. So make sure to use this grate when you can, when you remember it. It's the easiest. If you loaded a game and you see a little ship on an emissary table, this means that there is another emissary of that faction up. So if you're going to hunt for someone, this might be helpful for you. And last but not least, it may be a cool looking flag, but don't use the flag of the Reaper's Mark unless you want to get attacked. You can be seen all over the map with this flag, so refrain from using this flag if you don't want to get attacked and you want to stay undercover. So I hope this video helped you. Oh, shoot, I gotta turn off all the lanterns. 1 second. Ah, that's better. Now we can finish. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If this video was helpful, please consider dropping a like and subscribing. We are so close to 100 subs and it'd be much appreciated because so much time went into this video and all of these videos that I make for you guys. So thank you guys so much for hanging out. I appreciate you. I hope this video helped you. Make sure to go check out my Twitch if you haven't already. Drop a follow. We stream there every week. We stream there 5 days a week. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching this video. Until next time, I'll catch you guys all later. Peace!